magic happens. Oh, good morning. Uh, and welcome to the CSL Tahoe-Truckee's hybrid live streaming service. Good morning. I'm Reverend Rick Kearney, the Associate Minister here at the Center. Like I said, today our service is live streaming on Zoom, and it's my joy to welcome you here today. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. We know that there are many paths to God, and we recognize that all these paths end in oneness and in love. We are grateful that each of you is with us this morning. Please join me in reading our receptivity statement. Oh, well, let's hear from Karen.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Our arms are wide open. So here's a song I wrote with Harold Payne. You are welcome here. 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 Our arms are wide open. There's room for everyone. Wherever you're going, wherever you're from, you are home. You are welcome here. 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 Whatever you've been through, you found us somehow. Wherever you are on your journey now, you are home. You are welcome here. 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 You are welcome. All right, let's say, I am welcome. I am welcome here. 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 I am welcome. Let's say, give it to all of us. We are welcome here. We all are welcome here. We are welcome here. We are welcome here. We are welcome here. We all are welcome here.
And so can you mute the television, please? Mute the television on the microphone. Okay, thanks. Okay. I hear voices. No, it's all good. Uh, okay, please join me in reading our receptivity statement. I am here by divine appointment. Something I'm about to hear applies to my life. I am open, receptive, and willing to explore the possibilities. Thank you. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Karen Drucker is here. Maybe not here physically, but here virtually. And she has sent us music today that I'm sure that you're going to love. You know, Karen is a world famous musician, author, public speaker, and downright nice person. All those combined into one. And so please join me in welcoming Karen Drucker.
Good morning, CSL Tahoe-Truckee. Karen Drucker coming to you here from San Francisco. Nice to be with you again. It's been too long. I miss you. I miss coming up there and being at the lake with all of you. But we'll be together soon. So here's the thing. Here's my magic wand. I want you to sing along with me today with everything I do. So for our meditation song today, in the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. I'll teach it to you. Drucker coming to you here from San Francisco. Nice to be with you again. It's been too long. Good morning, CSL Tahoe-Truckee. Karen Drucker coming to you here from San Francisco. Nice to be with you again. It's been too long. I miss you. I miss coming up there and being at the lake with all of you. But we'll be together soon. So here's the thing. Here's my magic wand. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. I'll teach it to you. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust, but we'll be together soon. So here's the thing. Here's my magic wand. I want you to sing along with me today with everything I do. So for our meditation song today, in the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. I'll teach it to you. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest. So here's a song I wrote with Harold Payne. You are welcome here. 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 Our arms are wide open. There's room for everyone. Wherever you're going, wherever you're from, you are home. You are welcome here. 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 Whatever you've been through, you found us somehow. Wherever you are on your journey now, you are home. You are welcome here. 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 You are welcome. All right, let's say, I am welcome. I am welcome here. 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 I am welcome. Let's say, give it to all of us. We are welcome here. We all are welcome here. We are welcome.
I suggest that we hold off on the remainder of the video there. Okay. It's my pleasure to introduce to you our practitioner of the day, Brenda Heldorn. You know, that Brenda and her husband own their own business and have been keeping the people of the Tahoe Basin and northern Nevada safe from bears for a very long time. Brenda, thank you very much for agreeing to be here today. Won't you join me?
Thank you, Reverend Rick. Good morning. I like to think we keep the bears safe from people. I'd just like to offer an opening prayer this morning. Invite all of us to take a deep breath and become centered and recognize that there is just one thing going on here, one power and one presence, one source. And the nature of that one is good and goodness. And the nature of that one is to create. And so I am within that one. All creation is. Therefore, it is my nature to create. My nature is goodness. My nature is love, wholeness, kindness, beauty, and truth. This is true for me. This is true for each one here. To the extent that we remember the truth of who we are, the nature of the one is our nature. And so for today, this sacred service, I know that there is a gift. Something will be said, something will be heard. There will be an exchange, an inspiration, a healing, a lifting. It is already done in the mind of God. And so I am grateful for this time together, for our community gathering as one, coming together in divine family and divine kinship to share this knowing, to be immersed in this teaching, and to be loved and to love. And so I simply say thank you in gratitude. I release my word to the law, knowing that it is already done, already returned fulfilled. And together we say, and so it is. I have a reading this morning from Thomas Troward's book, The Edinburgh and Doré Lectures. As long as we judge only from the information conveyed to us by the outward senses, we are working on the plane of secondary causation and see nothing but a succession of conditions forming part of an endless train of antecedent conditions coming out of the past and stretching away into the future. And from this point of view, we are under the rule of an iron destiny from which there seems no possibility of escape. This is because the outward senses are only capable of dealing with the relations which one mode of limitation bears to another, for they are the instruments by which we take cognizance of the relative and the condition. Now, the only way of escape is by rising out of the region of secondary causes into that of primary causation, where the originating energy is to be found before it has yet passed into manifestation as a condition. This region is to be found within ourselves. It is the region of pure ideas, and it is for this reason that I have laid stress on the two aspects of spirit as pure thought and manifested form. The thought image or ideal pattern of a thing is the first cause, relatively to that thing. It is the substance of that thing, unparalleled by any antecedent conditions. I'd like to welcome Karen Drucker back. Or
Here I stand in my power. I was a little girl who never spoke. Good morning, CSL Tahoe-Truckee. Karen Drucker coming to you here from San Francisco. Nice to be with you again. It's been too long. I miss you. I miss coming up there and has brought me to this woman who's standing right. Yourself away, always looking for someone to tell me I was okay. But I got to the point I could trust my heart for a brand new start. Hey, here's your part. I want you to sing this with me. I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand. Here I stand. Sing that with me now. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand. Here I stand. I am a warrior. I am invincible. I am strong as steel, and I am capable. And I am soft as a feather, light and free. And the truth that I know, healing begins with me. All right, sing it out. Here I stand in my power. Yes, I do. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand. Here I stand. Here I stand. I'm gonna stand right here. Tall as a mountain and stand. I'm gonna stand. And with all that I've been through, honey, there ain't nothing I can't do. And now here I stand in my power. Sing with me now. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand in my power. Here I stand. Here I stand. Now here I stand. Here, right here I stand. Oh, here I stand. Here and with all that I've been through, there ain't nothing I can't do. Here I stand. Here I stand. In my power, in my glory. Here I stand. Here
Sure. We can clap for Karen. Well, thank you for sticking it out through thick and thin. Today's talk is called "And Still I Rise." This is the fourth in the series on rising higher. If you recall, in the first week of this month, Reverend Pam spoke about reaching higher for greater understanding. And she spoke about understanding our place in the universe, as well as understanding ourselves, because it's by going within and looking at ourselves in a critical way that we come to better understand where we are currently and where we want to be. In the second week, it was transcend and include. And that Reverend Pam spoke to rising above our fears, recognizing that is part of our history, that is part of who we are, but rising above it. In the third week, last week, when the going gets rocky, Reverend Pam spoke about the importance of perseverance, about not allowing things to slow us down. But today, it's "And Still I Rise." And this actually comes from a poem by Maya Angelou. And if you can put that one up, please. You can see how "As I Rise" repeats throughout her poem. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I'll rise. Now, she was speaking about the African American women involved in the civil rights movement of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It continues to this day, in fact, but it's applicable to all of us, that we can still rise. One of the things about rising is that sometimes we find our way blocked. We find obstacles that we simply cannot get around. And when that happens, it causes us to pause. Sometimes we continue banging our head against that brick wall. Other times we get some insight and recognize that maybe what's blocking our way is the way to where we want to be. And I'll explain that in just a few. What's blocking our way towards greater understanding, self-understanding, and greater wisdom. So to kind of emphasize this point, I wanted to share with you a story. And it's a story that comes out of the Taoist tradition. And it's about a Chinese farmer and his horse. Now, the story is about 2,000 years old, and it's been repeated many times, and you probably have heard it before yourselves. But I think it has many levels of meaning. And in case you haven't heard it before, it kind of goes like this. In ancient China, there was a farmer with his family, and they had a prize horse that would pull the cart from the to and fro. That horse was the farmer's prized possession. But one day he left the latch on the gate open, and the horse ran away. Well, his neighbors, hearing about this, came over to say, "Oh, that's terrible. It's such a sad thing." And the farmer says, "Well, who knows what's good and what's bad?" And that puzzled the neighbors. Well, it did until the next day, when the horse returned with 6 wild stallions following behind. And the neighbors came back to the farmer and said, "This is fantastic. How did you know?" "Well, who knows what's good and what's bad?" Well, soon after that, the farmer's son went out to try to tame one of those wild stallions and got kicked in the leg and broke his leg. And can you imagine what happened next? The neighbors returned and said, "Oh, that's terrible what happened to your son." And all he could say was, "Who knows what's good and what's bad?" Well, soon after, agents of the emperor's army came to the town to conscript young men to go fight in the war. And there was only one person who was not taken away, and that was the young man with the broken leg. And so the neighbors, when they saw the farmer, said, well, you know, that's a good thing. Well, who knows what's good and what's bad? Now, the story goes on and on like that, where there are ups and downs, and the farmer maintains a steady state of mind while the neighbors ride that emotional roller coaster of joy and elation, followed by, you know, sadness and depression. And so I guess there are multiple lessons to be learned from this. I would say lesson number one is that bad things can proceed from good things, and good things can proceed from bad things. Within every experience, there's the potential for the opposite to be revealed. A second lesson is, you might call it the the Buddhist take on it, and that is, don't get attached to a particular outcome. That is to say, when the horse ran away, the farmer didn't go into the pity pit. Rather, that he stayed calm and realized, we'll see what happens with this. And sure enough, the horse did return. He still recognized the good, but he was not emotionally caught up in the circumstance. The third lesson that came to me as I was reading this is that we have to move past the labels of good and bad. You know, we oftentimes react emotionally to things that happen in our life experience, but when we can see that there are not necessarily all good or all bad circumstances, we become less concerned with the outcome and more interested in watching the ongoing evolution of what is happening. In fact, the Sufi poet Rumi had the same thought, and maybe that's where it came to me, when he, in one of his poems, says, "Beyond the ideas of good and bad, there lies a field, and I will meet you there." He, Rumi, and he, the farmer, were both able to see the bigger picture by recognizing that we watch how things unfold without necessarily getting on board the emotional roller coaster. When we see the bigger picture, we realize that there are events that happen in our lives that we have no control over. All we can control is our reaction to those events. You know, it's not experience that matters. It's what you learn from the experience that matters. And so if I'd ask if you please put up Wayne Dyer's slide. He had that same thought when he said, with everything that has happened to you, you can either feel sorry for yourself, that is, hold yourself a pity party, or treat what has happened as a gift. Everything is either an opportunity to grow or an obstacle to keep you from growing. You get to choose. So, you know, Wayne and I are on the same sheet of music here. We recognize that it's up to us how we respond. And we have the opportunity to reflect and learn from each of the experiences that come our way. And so I'm going to ask you to do something for me. I'm going to ask you to take a moment, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes, and think back on your life. Have you ever had an unhappy experience that, in retrospect, you realize that led to a far better outcome? It may have been something major, like losing a job. It may have been the end of a relationship. Okay, I would say that it is, welcome back to the room. I can say that this is something that happens to everyone. If we really stop and think about it, you have to acknowledge there are some things that perhaps were unpleasant at the time they occurred, but they led to a far better life experience. Sometimes when you lose a job, you're available, to take a better one, or go on to a different career path altogether. Sometimes when a relationship ends, you're available as well to a far better one than you would have had you stayed in the one before. But it doesn't have to be anything as big as that. It could be something very small. Just this morning, I was running late. And every time that happens to me, I've come to realize that, wait a minute, I can get angry, or maybe I can think about what accident I would have missed, what mishap might have happened if I were on time. There's all kinds of situations like that where the things that are what I formerly considered you with stress and with self-criticism, I come to realize maybe, just maybe, it was for my better good, for my higher good. So you might ask, and it'd be fair to ask, is it possible that every bad thing is really a good thing if you wait around long enough? Well, who knows what's good and bad? Who knows? What I do know is that we all have something inside of us, something that is itching to get out. A bit like a blade of grass pushing its way through a crack in the sidewalk or between bricks on a path. There is something inside of us, each and every one of us, that motivates us, that creates in us a desire to express ourselves, to grow spiritually, emotionally, intellectually. You can call it the spark of life. You can call it the universal mind. You can call it divine creativity. You can call it whatever you want to. What matters is that you recognize there is such a thing, that there is inside of us an unstoppable, inexhaustible power that is urging us forward. It powers our continuing evolvement. It powers our unfoldment of becoming the people we were meant to be. That something inside is a divine presence. That something inside is always available to us. It's always with us in good times and in bad. It's there in our moments of glory as well as in our days of despair. So it's hard for me to see God in tragedy. God is there. And sometimes it's the tragedy we bring upon ourselves. Sometimes it's a tragedy that we have no control over. My personal story of tragedy was, I'll share with you now, it's when my first wife left me for another man. You can imagine how that hurt. You can imagine how I felt. I threw the biggest pity party there ever was. For months, I cried myself to sleep at night. For months, I wondered what I had done wrong, how it had gone wrong. Why this happened to me, Lord? But over time, the wounds healed. And interesting enough, I had a dream one night, and I remember this vividly because as soon as I woke up, I had the aha moment. I had been dreaming about walking alongside of the Potomac River, which has lots of little bays and eddies in it, like dead end bends, and I don't know what you call them, in the wetland side. Anyway, I was walking along and walked past one of these dead ends arms of the river. It ended in a swamp, actually, which smelled bad and looked bad and had mosquitoes flying all over it. And I thought to myself, that stagnant water, it's like the river's dying. And upon awakening, I had the idea, the inspiration, I'll call it that I was seeing myself as that river. I was not in the mainstream, which was fresh and healthy and moving forward. I was stuck in that backwater with the mosquitoes and the snakes. And I didn't want to be there anymore. And I came up with a mantra as quick as a snap. That which doesn't change soon stagnates. That which stagnates soon dies. And I made a commitment to myself. I was energized by the stream, energized by this revelation. And it was a divine revelation. I have no doubt about it now. I didn't know it at the time, but that God inside me said, wake up, and learn from your experience. And time went by. And I got out of that party, got out of my self-pity, and moved forward with my life. And it took a long time afterwards for me to finally be able to look at what happened dispassionately, without getting caught up in the emotion, without having an attachment to this outcome or that. And I realized I was pretty controlling. I was pretty immature. I regret that about myself, my actions then. And I no longer held any ill will, no longer felt any kind of anger or disappointment or anything really, other than the kind of love you share with all others. I, in my heart and soul, wished her well and wished him well, and hoped that their lives together were better than ours had been. And so this is a kind of story that I would say typifies the journey that we're all on, the journey that takes us through that emotional turmoil. And I encourage you to consider pausing, thinking back to what you had envisioned a few moments ago, and ask yourself, what did I learn from this? What can I take forward in my life? Michael Beckwith was pretty insightful. He's had his own ups and downs, as you know. And he says that the spirit within us is so powerful, it can rise even after the most devastating of circumstances. How very true. If you think about it, the manifest creator of the entire universe, it has the power. It has the power. And it shares that with us. So, as a way of wrapping it up, I need to read to you what was in the crib notes for today's sermon. That comes from the Center for Spiritual Living, and it's just too good to paraphrase. Despite the appearance and experience of obstacles and adversity, the way of life, with a capital L, is always rising, expanding, and evolving. Every part of your journey is useful and necessary for that which Spirit wants to express as you. No experience is wasted. No opportunity goes by. All is good, though it might not seem so at the time. As you rise up into a life that works, Spirit uses you to help others rise. This is how we create a world that works for everyone. Let's take this to prayer. I know that there is one source, one mind, one breath breathing us all. This one presence, which some call God, some Allah, some Yahweh, and 1,000 other names, 1,000 other languages, all speaking to the same truth. The truth that behind all appearances, behind all experiences, behind all creation, there is one cause, one life. And in this one, we are all individual expressions. And that this one loving, caring, giving spirit is here with me, it's here with you, it's here with everyone we've ever met, and everyone we'll ever meet. God expressing as those we consider foes or adversaries or friends or lovers. God expressing as people on the street, on the television, at the beach, in the cars, in the cities, in the towns, in the forests and the jungles and the deserts. It's all one God. And this God has unending power, limitless power to bring into our lives all that we need to evolve. Yet this evolution requires us to participate also, for us to do our inner work, to know what is the message here, what is the lesson I learn, what can I take from this experience, be it good or bad, and apply in my life later on. It need not be a catastrophe. It need not be a moment of ecstasy. Even the little things have lessons for us all. And I commit to keeping my eyes and ears open, keeping my mind and heart open, keeping my life available to God to use as it will, to bring forth this world that works for everyone by being an example of love. To show all those who hear me, all those who see me, and everyone I may encounter in this life and beyond, that love heals all wounds, that love provides whatever's needed, that love is the answer. And I'm so grateful for this knowledge. So happy to have stumbled upon it. And I'm grateful for those who have brought me here through good experiences and bad. For this is where I was meant to be. And this is where you were meant to be, hearing these words in this place and beyond, because this is the message that God is sharing now. Love to you, my children. Love to you all. I release this knowing it is already so, as together we say. And so it is. It is. Well. Shall we try it one more time? Okay. Karen Drucker has this wonderful upbeat song that I'm hoping that everybody gets a chance to sing and dance to.
Sometimes to get to where you want to go, you just gotta take one.
Sometimes to get to where you want to go,
You just gotta take one small step to get there.
I'm taking one small step. Instead of looking at that big old mountain, I'm taking one small step. It gets me closer, a little closer to my goal. I'm gonna take one small step. instead of looking at that big old mountain, then it won't seem like I've got so far to go. All right, here's your part. Taking one small step, instead of looking at the mountain. Taking one small step gets me closer to the goal. I'm taking one small step, instead of looking at the mountain. Then it won't seem like I've got so far to go. And I've got dreams filled with passion, but I got fears that tend to pop up in my way. But I got power that's deep inside my soul. When I look too far and I lose my way, always lets me know that I gotta take one small step, instead of looking at the mountain. Taking one small step gets me closer to my goal. I'm taking one small step, instead of looking at the mountain. Then it won't seem like I've got so far to go. And I got a little off the track. I couldn't find my way back. When I looked inside, the truth that could not be denied. I was making it harder than it had to be, just pushing and fighting until I found the key. That I gotta take one small step, instead of looking at the mountain. Taking one small step gets me closer to the goal. I'm taking one small step, instead of looking at the mountain. Then it won't seem like I've got so far to go. It's time to go. You just have to imagine it's a saxophone. Thank you, it's a talent. What can I tell you? I'm taking one small step. Oh, taking one small step. I'm taking one small step, instead of looking at the mountain. Taking one small step gets me closer to the goal. I'm taking one small step, instead of looking at the mountain. Then it won't seem like I got so far to go. It won't seem like I've got so far to go. Won't seem like I've got so far to go. What you gotta do? What you gotta do? Here's what you gotta do. You gotta take just one step, one small step. Just take it, just one step, one small step. Just taking one step, one small step. Just a little baby step, just a little baby step, just a little baby step. Yeah, one small step. See me take it. Yeah, now one small step gets me to the goal, gets me closer, closer, closer. Just one small step, just little baby steps, little baby steps. One small step.
Whoa, thank you. Now it's our prosperity time service. At CSL Tahoe-Truckee, we know that God is our infinite source. So I ask that you please hold your offering over your heart and repeat with me our prosperity affirmation. As I share my offering, I know that it flows from God, my infinite source. My gift blesses this center and all who are guided, healed, and empowered by its activities. With gratitude, I know that all I share with life returns to me, blessed and multiplied. If you are here in the sanctuary, you can find offering baskets near the door as you exit. If you would like, we have an optional offering and building fund envelopes you can use. If you're online, you can mail in your contribution or go to our website to make a donation to either the operating fund or the building fund. Okay, with that, I thank you. And moving along, we have a offering song. Hit it. Button in the bottom right. Click on the speaker.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I am one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I am thankful, so grateful. I am grateful, so thankful. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God.
Oh, no thanks. No thanks. Okay. Did you know that was Colleen Akiko singing that? Yeah. That's delightful to hear her voice here. I wanted to take a moment and welcome any guests that might be online with us today. Thank you for sharing your time with us. When you get here in our sanctuary, we'll give you a welcome packet. And if you would like to receive your weekly email newsletter to know everything that's happening at the center, you please sign up in the chat online. Okay, it's time for our announcements. As you know, we are recording today's session, and it will be available tomorrow on our YouTube channel, and you can find the links to that in our newsletter as well as online. You can move right along. Next Sunday, Reverend Pam will be back to speak at the first of the September series. I can't read it, sorry. Divine Community, yes. Love Eternal with Shauna and Jared Namaste will be back. And Carol Dalbon will be our practitioner. The week after that is a special event when Reverend Dr. Lloyd Tupper and Reverend Pam will be together as our co-speakers. And the topic is Sharing the Dream. Colleen will be here in person to be our music support, and our practitioner will be yours truly. Our new website is here. I encourage you to check that out. More and more is being added each week. A whole set of recorded sermons are now available, clipped to just that portion of our service, as well as the inspirational messages that are associated with them. Tahoe-CSL.org. And this is the first week of our Spiritual Living Circle, which will be taking place in person at the For Goodness Sake building in Truckee. And it's also available online. Check out the newsletter and the website for the link to that. Okay, moving along. Sadly, we needed to postpone our stargazing event scheduled for Friday of this week. We'll need to reschedule that at a future time. The circumstances beyond our control. And you know, Karen Drucker's coming. She's going to be our co-facilitator for annual retreat taking place November 5th through 7th at Ananda Village. There's a lot of detail associated with this, and rather than try to repeat it to you aloud, I encourage you to please check out our website where all of these details are listed, as well as in the weekly newsletter. Oh, Pam makes a great point. The deposits to hold your space, your desired housing option is this week. So please make sure that you make your check or online contribution reservation, prior to Wednesday. Okay.
Hey there,
And we
everybody.
have
It's Karen Drucker.
Karen to talk about it.
And how are you feeling these days? Going a little wacky with all the craziness that's happening in the world? Well, we have a retreat for you. The CSL Tahoe-Truckee annual retreat this year is going to be all about nurturing our little spirits within. Because I don't know about you, but this has been a pretty interesting time we've been living in, don't you think? And we're going to have a weekend where we get to just nurture ourselves with music and group process and discussions and great food and being in community. That's it, being in community. So the title of this annual retreat this time is Nurturing the Spirit Within Self-Care in Turbulent Times. And this is going to be November 5th through the 7th. It's at a beautiful retreat center that I've facilitated at before. It's called the Ananda Meditation Retreat up in Nevada City. And I hope you'll join us. Reverend Pam and I are going to be putting on a weekend full of just self-care and nurturing. I guarantee you will be transformed in the weekend. So please come and join us. Information is at the CSL Tahoe-Truckee website. But I look forward to seeing you there, and I look forward to nurturing myself and nurturing you and having us just have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So I hope to see you there.
Okay. We have our ongoing events listed here. I've mentioned Sunday service already. The Wednesday service or Wednesday meeting will be added to the next week's slides. Tai Chi with Chris Worcester on Thursday afternoons, meditation on Thursday evenings, led by Mary McEnany and Penny Scholler, and A Course of Love, coming soon. Anything you want to add to that, Sue? Okay. Then yes, that's my dog barking outside. So I want to take a moment to welcome our children, none here in the room, but maybe those at home, and we want to make sure that they are recognized as we make our child program affirmation. We see you, we hear you, we love you, and you are a gift from God. And so it is. Well, let us wrap up our service today by forming a circle and singing You Are the Face of God by Karen Drucker, then reciting our affirmation afterwards. And please stand by for hospitality time. Sure, let's just stand. Okay. Why don't you turn and face others, in a virtual circle here as we play the music.
So I dedicate this to all of you. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
And please recite our affirmation. The power of God rises in me, and I am free. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. End recording.